My name is Wallgrenin. I'm from here, from Helsinki, and my task is just to welcome you all to this event, to building peace for all, and to thank you for the work all you have done, and for coming to Helsinki on the occasion of the 50th anniversary of the Helsinki Spirit, which we are here to renew. I'm a professor of philosophy doing theories of modernity. I'm an activist in movements, and I have very few official hats, but these events have been mainly organized through shoestring budget and voluntary effort. So I want to thank all the people who have contributed in Helsinki and elsewhere to bringing us here today. I want to share the following very briefly. First, that we meet in times of war and confusion and securitization. We also meet in times of, at least from the outside, weakness of the peace movement. Or so it may seem. But one line of thinking which has surfaced with you during the last days is that more now than in recent years, it seems to me that we are needed, and that our time may come sooner than we think. Yes. Activists, intellectuals, but also people with power, and above all those whose lives are now being destroyed by war and aggression. All these people with us are looking for new ideas and ways forwards which can bring peace and justice for all. So we meet here to develop, create, and cooperate, and we meet knowing that also before it has happened, that ordinary people like us, have been able to deliver the wisdom and the leadership and the initiative, the power of truth that the world needed. I'm happy that you have come to Helsinki and to Pasilan. I look forward to learning from your wisdom and proud to share with you today and through our lives the search for peace and justice for all. Welcome. And I give the word to my friend, colleague from Norway, Einar Braathen.
Thank you, Thomas. Thank you for chairing. I'm in the coordination committee of Nordic Peace Alliance, and we are very proud to be part of the organizing team here. Actually, this is a historic moment. It's the first event the Nordic Peace Alliance is organizing outside the annual summer conference. So we were established 2 years ago, summer 2023, after 4 or 5 years preparations. You know, there were lockdown, COVID, there were all of a sudden a kind of invasion and war breaking out. So the start was a bit later than we hoped, but 2023. And we met in Olga last year, Mariehamn, for our summer conference, and this year we were in Skåne, south of Sweden. But this is our first kind of more action kind of initiative, which we are taking jointly in the Nordic Peace Alliance. And also the alliance itself, I think, has some kind of historical dimension, because it's, as far as I know, the first kind of real effort to coordinate the peace organizations in the Nordic countries. We have had contact throughout the history, the efforts to, after the Second World War, to start have a Nordic defense alliance as an alternative to the Warsaw Pact and the NATO. It failed. Norway and Denmark preferred the NATO and the American security. And now, actually, we ended up for the first time in the same we call it security trap. We are now all together in NATO and in the dependence on the USA in terms of these bases, these DCA bases. So all of a sudden we all have very many common issues to deal with. So, and I think that the Nordic Peace Alliance will grow. We try to organize working groups which work throughout the year on specific themes. We haven't really succeeded. We have worked on the basis, the DCA basis. That has worked. There's also been a group working on the NATO membership, but it's all a kind of history now. We also have a group on environment, climate, and peace issues. But it's maybe not the main priority of any of the people who are involved, because they are all very, very busy. So we have some problems. And this working group we started now on Helsinki Plus 50 is maybe the most successful thing we have done. And thanks to Tor Björk, who has been, I would say, he tries to hide, but he's not so anonymous in the working group, so to speak. And Palle Benson from Denmark, he's unfortunately didn't have time to be here, but he has been in a way in charge of the declaration, collecting signatures and setting up our web and so on. Mikael has also joined us. Mikael Bok, you have assisted Teemu Matipuru to make this working group also have a good Finland embeddedness. So thanks, Mikael. So I don't think I need to say more than we hope that there will be a follow-up here, and that many of us will interact and cooperate, and hopefully also see each other again the coming months and years. Thank you.
Hans, then it's Olga, then Phillip. So Hans, you are next, Hans,
okay.
Please.
Thank you. I'm Hans Hedrich, peace activist from Romania and Germany, and I'm a co-organizer of the event, and I will try to get us to this time schedule and be on time as good as possible. I've called this event Peace Lab. I'd like us to dive into security relevant issues along the OSCE principles, let's say. We'll go into details later in the three working groups that are being structured according to the three baskets of the CSCE, security, economy, and human rights. And finally have a kind of outcome, conclusions that we can later even concentrate, condensate, and deliver maybe to the OSCE itself. My personal idea and agenda is to give an impulse to the OSCE that we need a European Peace Summit. We need a new summit of the heads of states inside the OSCE. The last one was 2010. It's 15 years now, it's long ago. So there must be a new summit of the heads of state one day. And then the elephant in the room will be the security architecture of Europe and peace in Ukraine. And why not us as a civil society in this historic moment give this impulse towards the OSCE, very precise. Hey guys, it's your job, please make that summit, and that's the chance to reshape the whole thing. Okay, so that's it for now. I'll later have a 30 minutes presentation, but later about it. Okay, who's next? Olga.
Olga is next.
Yeah, but maybe we go together, or?
Yeah. Are you Phillip?
Maybe you start.
I start?
Yeah, as moderator.
You are?
I think so.
All right, so I follow you in your position where you are. Hello everyone, my name is Phillip Pollak. I'm the director of United for Intercultural Action, an umbrella organization with 560 supporting organizations across 46 European countries. I'm still fairly new in my position as a email disclosure. I started in January and have been attending into various affairs since that time. So it's also my first time in the presence of all of you, with the exception of some Hungarian friends that we've met during June. So within United's current position, we are also in the midst and quite in the centipede of transformation for both further relevance to the network and both to carry initiatives forward when it comes to the erosion, in particular, of civic liberty rights. And we do that through various means. And currently, as a new initiative that I also want to mention to you, United has recently launched its new working group, particularly focusing on that within the European Pact on Migration. So for further information, I'm around. As this, we'll leave it, I think, very shortly. For further questions, I'm around. And once again, it's a big pleasure to be here.
So my name is Olga Karach. Originally, I'm from Belarus. I'm a chief of our house. Human Rights and Peace Builders organization. Now I'm in Lithuania, and many years ago I was very young, and Lukashenko just got the power, and everything was going in the wrong way. I didn't know anything about feminism, about human rights, about peace building, nothing. I just felt that something was wrong. I was very lucky, very lucky. I met some Germans from the German peace movement, BSV, Resistors International, etc. And we started to think together, it's possible or not to transform Belarusian regime in peaceful way, with non-violent resistance. And we started to have such kind of experiments. And European peace movement helped us a lot of how to fight under the pressure, intelligent surveillance, and everything, etc. Today, I have very strange feelings. I'm in Europe now, in Lithuania. We are facing almost the same pressure as at 90s, when I started to be active in Belarus. And I feel some kind of responsibility to help European peace movement to survive under the pressure, under the intelligence surveillance, and many other things. How to script our computers, etc., because I have so many triggers today that we are in very strange track now. We are in track to return to, or we all have a lot of risk to wake up in Belarus with the same violations of human rights and many other things. So this is why I'm here. I'm very happy to have the discussion during the whole day, and thank you for the floor.
Leo Gabriel is next, and Karmapriya is Leo, and then Karma.
Good morning, my name is Leo Gabriel. I'm, with regard to nationalities that count, I'm an Austrian. With the formation of my political heart, I'm very much in Latin American, because I spent a larger part of my life there in the north, Mexico, Central America, and so on. The importance of our meeting cannot be underestimated. You are rather modest in saying that you could not achieve so many things, but I think that you are a unique example of convergence of the movements climate change and peace. This has no other part of the world this has been so explicit as the alliance you are making. As an Austrian, we are trying very, very hard to make a big thing. After 2 years after we had in Vienna a big peace conference on Ukraine especially, we took advantage of the fact that Austria is remaining with Ireland, with Malta, the only neutral country formally since Finland and Sweden dropped out. And we have this gigantic idea, this dream to make in Vienna the second Vienna Congress. You know when the first Vienna Congress was? 1815, after the Napoleonic Wars. And we tried to do that, but for that it is necessary to have a common base of understanding and not just having a Putin bashing or to have a position against. We have to develop a common strategy, and I'm looking forward to hear that from here. And it is also important, this is my other part, Latin America, where I have been active since the very beginning at the World Social Forum. And the World Social Forum had its also his current, it's after the war in Iraq, or even before the war in Iraq, that peace became a big highlight, and it does it again. And we had a big discussion if we just remain the World Social Forum as a meeting ground of different policies, or if we can pull out an organic, action-oriented entity. And it was decided that besides the World Social Forum, there is now the Assembly of Struggles and Resistances of the World Social Forum, where Dorrit is taking part and others from here, and we are working on strategies, of course, very much about the conflict in Gaza, but also about the conflict in the Ukraine, and the basic line, and with this I will close. The basic, what was the basic line?
Karma will tell us.
Hello everyone, and thank you for inviting me to come here. I'm Karmapriya. I'm the co-chair of Friends of Earth Sweden. And I'm a human rights advocate and research fellow. And while Tord and our peace committee within Friends of Earth Sweden has been working tireless for years to get the climate and peace movement together, I've been working to get the human rights movement and the climate and environmental movement together. So now we are joining hands and getting the whole spectrum together. And yesterday, or a few weeks ago, we had a summer camp where a lot of organizations came together. It was the second year we had that camp. And yesterday, a few organizations, actually, we have created an open call that we will send out to all environmental, human rights, and climate and peace movements of Sweden to start with, and then we'll see. And we actually agreed on this call yesterday, so I will start by reading this. And I translated it really quickly into English because it was in Swedish. So,
Too long, huh?
Yes, it's not too long. We live in a world spiraling towards climate collapse, the breakdown of international law, and the threat of nuclear war. The world is rearming, not just military, but socially and ideologically. People are being turned against each other, hatred is growing, and conflicts over resources, power, and dominance are tearing societies apart. At the same time, we are losing time, resources, and capacity to face the real threats: climate change, ecological collapse, inequality, and social insecurity. We share this earth, its water and air with all living beings. There is only one planet. The future is a common one, or there is no future at all. Around the world, resistance is taking shape through initiatives for peace and climate justice, such as Stop Rearm Europe. And for the second year in a row, the Global Week of Action for Peace and Climate Justice will take place 15 to 25th September. And this year's theme is Divest from War and Invest in a Just Transition, a clear cut for all of our movements to unite in action for demilitarized, just transition. A new era is beginning, and across the globe, a movement is growing, rooted in peace, care, and responsibility for each other and for the planet. A world built on peace, freedom, and equality with fair access to food, water, and life necessities. It's not a dream, it is a choice. We are facing a historic opportunity to shape a sustainable future grounded in solidarity and justice. This is the call to come together, to dismantle the war economy and invest in a just transition for peace, climate justice, and shared security. We do it together. Let's create recurring days of action, locally, nationally, and globally, where people, movements, and communities unite in collective action. Let us turn despair into hope and powerlessness into resolve. The starting point is the Global Week of Action, 15 to 21st of September, remember. And the crescendo will be the 21st of September, when we will do marches and climate manifestations all over Europe. Our aim is to ignite hope for the future through concrete solutions, strengthen cooperation for peace, environmental, and climate justice, inspire a just and demilitarized transition grounded in respect for both people and nature. And most of all, we will celebrate our capacity for cooperation, compassion, and transformation. Our common foundation is under the banner of peace on earth and peace with earth. And we unite in the name of the equal worth of all people, human rights, equality, and solidarity. Peaceful cooperation. Conflict must be resolved through dialogue, not violence. Care for the earth, our one and only home, must be protected. The power of hope. Hope is born through action. We are part of a living movement for life. We aim to build an open, no-partisan platform where diversity is seen as strength. We choose life, we choose peace, we choose for the future. Together we create a world where both people and nature can thrive.
Lady from WILF is not with us, but Ulla Klötzer will say regards from Women's International League for Peace and Freedom.
Yeah, I can actually not speak for WILF because I'm not a member of WILF, but I'm very much cooperating, or we are very much cooperating with WILF and also with Heidi. And when I say we, I mean Women for Peace in Finland, and I mean Global Women for Peace United Against NATO, that was founded in 23. I will shortly come back to that. But as I know about what Heidi would like to say, is that Heidi with a group of WILF women and other women have been working on a piece of paper called Peace and Conflict Narratives, Feminist Perspectives and Recommendations for Helsinki 50. And that was made before this conference, but it also says in the recommendations that we strongly advocate for a women's conference held before, parallel to, or as follow-up, and it must now be a follow-up, to Helsinki 50. And this is endorsed by members of the Common Security Program Women's Group on Women and Gender Realities in the OSCE area, from Georgia, Armenia, Kosovo, Serbia, Kyrgyzstan, Turkmenistan, Germany, Italy, Switzerland, Austria, Norway, and Sweden. And it's also supported by WILPF Austria, Canada, Denmark, Finland, Germany, Italy, Norway, Spain, Switzerland, and United Kingdom. And I would like to promote also Global Women for Peace United Against NATO. We are a network of women from all over the world. We had a declaration on our homepage website signed by some 300 very renowned women from all over the world. We have representatives of the group more or less involved. Karin Karlsson from Sweden, Olga Karach from Belarus, Lithuania, Lea Launokari, my companion, fellow activist who has saved my life and her life many times when we have been tired. And we hope for getting a little bit of support from Ludmila. But we are many, and we have 2 photo displays with women from all over the world saying no to NATO. We can look at them. There are faces from over 1,000 faces from all over the world, from almost 100 countries. And Vera, from Hungary, will hopefully take care of our Eastern working group, and you can say one word or two. Thank you.
So I'm coming from Hungary, and very shortly we have a tradition of peace movements since before times of the First World War. We had a WILPF organization in 1915, the Hungarian chapter of that time, and also I must mention George Lukács, the philosopher who was also engaged in peace movements, and we have to take this tradition in all Eastern European countries. We have to follow our ancestors and keep this movement alive.
Thank you, Vera. The last speaker in this session is Sean Connery from the International Peace Bureau, right? But Hans tells me that he wants to give 2 of his minutes to our friend from the US, who will also just welcome the event. Very briefly.
Very briefly. You'll see what brief looks like. All right, my name is Bruce Knott, and I'm the chair of the NGO Committee on Disarmament, Peace, and Security at the United Nations as part of civil society. I'm also the co-chair of the NGO Committee on Human Rights. Yesterday, I talked a bit about peace and human rights at Helsinki University, and we got all tied up about how wars get started, so I don't want to go there again. But what I do want to talk about for just a minute or two is how to stop wars. And wars depend on 2 things, money and weapons. And if we can stop the money and stop the weapons, we'll stop the wars. Now, specifically, I was talking about Gaza, and if the United States stopped sending weapons and stopped sending money to Israel, that war would stop. I also talked about Sudan, and Sudan is the 2 sides in the civil war in Sudan. One side is getting money from the United Arab Emirates, the other side from Egypt. You can stop wars here too. Stop the military spending. Stop the spending on weapons. And the more we can do that, and the more places we can do that, the more we'll stop wars. And that's all I have.
Well, now International Peace Bureau, the director Sean Connery will speak to us via this video. As you understand, the international peace movements are very, very busy. There's a new war every week, more or less. And he's totally exhausted. He would have liked to be here. International Peace Bureau started in 1891 and have received the Nobel Peace Prize 12 times, the member in the board, etc. And one thing should be said, very simple. They've given us total trust. It's been so easy to cooperate with them. So it's a very good, and I have the feeling that word beyond war has been the same, and the word social assembly, which will get. Without them, we could never have done something. So now the word is given to Sean Connery.